Hey guys, this is Pineapple, and today we are going to be talking about a recent interview from Naples Comic Con 2019. The interview is between MangaForever and the staff behind My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I'm going to link the interview in my description, and I think you should definitely check it out, but we're going to talk about it here and break down what we can, but not everything. I'm going to be using MetaCantina's translation of the interview for this video and following it pretty closely, so shout out to those guys, and make sure you support anyone showing love and doing good things for the community. Hit that sub button and bell icon and get my videos in your subscription feed, and make sure to show these guys tons of love. Let's get started on this little breakdown after that intro. Hit it! So My Hero Academia Vigilantes is the My Hero Academia official side manga that has a decently growing fan base. The three staff members that were on deck for this interview were Hideyuki Furuhashi, the writer of the manga, Tatsuya Sato, the editor, and Betten Court, the artist of the manga. During their group interview, they gave us tons of insight on the series, so let's talk about some of the things that we learned. We're told that Kohei Horikoshi, the mangaka behind the main My Hero series, supervises and goes over every chapter of Vigilantes with the team before it goes out. He's able to add in ideas, and there's already been multiple examples of things between My Hero Academia Vigilantes and the main series playing between each other. One big example is how we first find out about the quirk-enhancing drug Trigger in My Hero Academia Vigilantes before it's mentioned in the main series. That drug ultimately goes on to be a major plot point in the main series, and it's even hinted that Chisaki himself might eventually step into Vigilantes to put down an out-of-control speedster, but I have a video about that entire situation coming up, so I guess just be patient, it's coming. When the interviewers asked about how the Vigilante series came about, Tatsuya Sato, the editor, said that he came up with the idea because he wanted to make a spin-off of My Hero Academia. A spin-off of My Hero is a really good idea because as a sort of comic book inspired property, it sort of makes sense that it might have other side stories or even what if mangas to create a sort of universe on print. Tetsuya went to Betten Court for the art side of things, and Betten Court accepted before they even had someone to write the story or the script. Two people deciding that they wanted something, so they went out to find someone who could make it possible, and here we are with a really fun story because of it. Tetsuya says that he immediately thought of Furuhashi, and once the trio had set their hearts on making the project come to life, they went about bringing the idea to Kohei Horikoshi. Horikoshi was quickly on board and was apparently super excited to hear that Betten Court was doing the art for the project since he'd been a fan of Betten Court's work. Now, My Hero runs in Weekly Shonen Jump, and it would have been really cool to have both the main series and the side comic run in Weekly Shonen Jump side by side, but Vigilantes actually comes out digitally on the Shonen Jump Plus app. MangaForever asked a really good question about what the differences between creating something for a digital format versus a print format are like, especially when you're talking about manga. From the answer, it seems like Vigilantes actually could have ran side by side with My Hero in the pages of Weekly Shonen Jump, but it ended up being released digitally because Betten Court says he couldn't finish a chapter weekly under the traditional publishing. Hideyuki chimes in and he says that while he really appreciates the feedback that they're able to get from the users on the Shonen Jump app, ultimately the comments don't cause any changes to the plot. All of this info about the start of Vigilantes and how it came about is really awesome to hear, and it goes even deeper thanks to the great questioning here by the MangaForever team. They asked the manga team what their inspirations are as far as media for their work. Hideyuki said that he was inspired by Alan Moore's Watchmen, Frank Miller's Dark Knight run, which had a major influence on the setting and tone of Vigilantes, and Spider-Man, which influenced how he went about creating Koichi, the main character. Betten Court says that he was more inspired in the aesthetics from the films, which means, like a lot of folks, he is more into the MCU side of things than the comic side of things. I think this fusion of viewpoints is perfect for a story like Vigilantes because it gives you a mix from the creators that results in a grounded-ish hero world with all sorts of powers that never feel like an overload, even when someone's powers are literally just for them to be a choo-choo train. There were a few other things that they mentioned in the interview, like the difficulty of creating a villain versus creating a hero, and the difference of the different sides of the hero universe that we get to see between the two manga. The main series shows more of the main ongoings of the world, but the side manga explores the underground, and it's like the dark where the main series is the light. What I'm the most interested in is a question that was asked near the end of the interview. The interviewers asked if the manga's team would like to see an anime based on My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and they all said that they would really like it. Tetsuya said that the existence of an anime depends on the fan support. Now, for anyone that's spent a little bit of time on this channel, you'll know that I really enjoy the My Hero Academia Vigilante story, and I'd even put it above the main series stories at times. And I've also been pushing for an anime to get made for a while now on these really cold YouTube streets. And honestly, I think it would be amazing. So with this question about the anime, are we just being baited into holding out hope for an anime adaptation that's never coming? Well, I've seen tons of fans scared that My Hero is adapting the manga too fast and is catching up somehow, and whenever I see this comment come up, my reply is always the same. It would make perfect sense for them to drop a season of Vigilantes to give the main series some time to breathe before it comes back with another season. It would be perfect to do this between season 4 and season 5. Doing an anime for Vigilantes would be good to introduce people to the amazing world within the series, because most people don't know about the side manga and they don't know that you'll find characters from the main series in it, like Aizawa, All Might, and even Deku's mom from a few years before this series started. It's really cool to see Aizawa patrol the streets before he became a teacher and go to bars and stuff with President Mike and his friends, and the actual story going on in Vigilantes between our heroes and the villains is so dark and layered that it honestly feels like the entire manga has been written already and we're just watching it unfold. So when it comes to the topic of the anime, I don't think that we'll get any sort of announcement at the upcoming Hero Fest, since that event should be more focused on season 4, which drops in October. But I do think that we might get an announcement for a Vigilantes anime this December at Jump Festa. And I don't think it'll be done by Bones either, but I guess that's just something that we're gonna have to see for ourselves. This is just a prediction, and it just seems like it would make sense, but it seems like the series is growing in popularity, and with the main series being one of the biggest things to come out of Weekly Shonen Jump in years, you've got to imagine that they'd want to capitalize on that success with a side series that has the opportunity to gather its own entirely new fandom, much like the Vigilantes manga has already done. In the interview, they seem to suggest that Vigilantes is a little more than halfway through, but they also said that the story keeps getting longer and longer as it gets written, so who knows. With that in mind, I don't see how we don't get a Vigilantes anime at some point, but of course, all we can do is wait and hope. Hope is definitely easier to have thanks to interviews like these, so thanks again to MetaCantina and the MangaForever team for hosting and translating this interview for the rest of us to watch and pick apart. What did you guys think of the interview? Did you find anything interesting? And do you think we'll get an anime adaptation of Vigilantes sometime in the next year or so? Let me know and be ready for another Vigilantes video, because I'm writing one right now and that shouldn't take forever to come out, but I guess we'll see. I'll be back soon with more stuff. I'll see you guys later. It's Pineapple. Peace.